wand. I said I'm shining just like a diamond. I'm so blind and I'm fashionably late for the date with perfect timing. I'm making no sense cause I'm bent and I'm just rhyming. I'm high as a cloud above the ground. I'm ever climbing. I'm Jesus, would you believe it? Yes, I doubt it until I make wine flow out of a water fountain. Seeing's believing and there ain't no way around it. Or maybe it's just that I'm high as a fucking mountain. Our powers combine, we turn water to wine. We become divine and turn water to wine. Destinies intertwined. We become divine when our powers combine. Water to wine. Water to wine. I said I'm wildin' up on the island, combining powers. Hybrid flowers, rolling kush up with the sour. Sitting high, standing tall, I'm like a tower. A superhero, honey badger coming for cowards. Our powers combine, we turn water to wine. I ain't saving everybody, that's a waste of my time. If I catch a villain slipping, I just creep from behind. I pop an arrow in his neck and one more in his spine. When our powers combine, we turn water to wine. We become divine and turn water to wine. When our powers combine, we become divine and turn water into wine. Water to wine. One more time. I said I'm here just to bring the magic. I'm like Aladdin, I make it happen. I bring life back to a casket. I got that potion, setting flames upon the ocean. It gets hot, shit be blazing, no shit be roasting. Step back, dive down, don't get toasted. Did you notice I was blowed on short notice? Y'all cannot stop me, I'm the man, I'm Big Poppy. I don't wanna knock your ass out like Robbie. Water to wine. Water to wine. When our powers combine, we come divine and turn water into wine. I'ma pop it off, I'ma get it done at any cost. Do whatever it takes, bitch, to be a boss. And I'm with the shits, and I want all the sauce. And I came here for all the smoke, the cocaine, the strippers, hookers and blow. Said you always gotta tip her before you go. But I digress, I let the story unfold. See, this a tale of some young folk just trying to make it. Got the world in my grasp and it's mine for the taking. Trying to feed the fam and bring home the bacon. Trying to have a yard full of cash to be raking. I'm just trying to live a dream and everything in between. Cause life is not what it seems to be. It's not what they teach. It leads to monotony. That's not what I need. Said I envision me beat up at the beach. I said my band, they needed a hook Monday. So I went and I wrote something. I should have had this shit done Sunday. So I went and I wrote something. I said my band, they told me to say something. I was lost, I had nothing. I said the band, they told me to say something. I wrote that shit down, so right now I say something.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sickos and the normies, welcome back to the Landy Lodge podcast, where today we have an incredible guest who I'm very excited to talk to today about Pokemon. We're going to make a little time to talk FF16. We're going to make a little time to talk Kingdom Hearts, but primarily we're here to talk about that new Pokemon trailer. It's an exciting time to be into gaming, but before we get into that, we have some people we need to thank. Those being the sages of the lodge, those absolute legends who donate as little as $1 a month to keep my nonsense going. So without further ado, much love and shout out to Charlotte, Alex, Chris, Maria, Shane, David, Scott, Jillian, Corey, Twilight Blaze, Nick, Kevin, AJ, Michael, Andrew, Brendan, Gaseous Snake, Mookie, Orpheus, Joshua, Jordan, Corey, Axel, DJ, Brady, Jack2 Park, and Cosmic. Thank you all very, 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 very much. It means so much more to me than you can know. But without further ado, let me introduce our guest. Ill-fitting Trousers. Trousers, how are we doing today, dude?
Dude, I'm so excited. As soon as, because we were talking about doing this a different day with,
Yeah, we were supposed to do this in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then we talked about the Pokemon trailer, and it was just, it worked perfectly. I'm so excited to be here, Landy. Thank you so much.
Dude, it's my pleasure to have you on. I suppose we should give a special shout out to KH Guides, because you and I met at KH20, which was that live convention that he and his community put on. That's what allowed you and I to link up. Found out, we like a lot of the same stuff. We vibed real well together, and that's kind of what made this happen. So a big shout out to Guides in that community, man. They're at the root of this podcast right now.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Honestly, I'm so excited for Reconnect too. I think I've been talking about. Yeah.
We were talking about that a little bit in the pre-roll, but so before we get into Pokemon, a lot of my audience has gotten in here by way of Kingdom Hearts. That's how a lot of people discover this podcast and this channel. When you and I met, we talked Kingdom Hearts a lot, and you mentioned Kingdom Hearts 2 is your favorite game of all time. So before we get into Pokemon, if you could quickly just explain, why Kingdom Hearts? Like, what is it about Kingdom Hearts that has moved you or touched you in that way that it's your favorite all these years later?
So, Kingdom Hearts, especially Kingdom Hearts 2, it was the game that got me into RPGs. I played it at a super young age. My friend Christian, he just kind of recommended the game to me. And I remember, because he was friends with my brother, but I remember basically spending hours playing Kingdom Hearts while him and my brother were hanging out. And maybe he gave me that game to shut up and stay away.
I mean, that's a fair deal. You take that deal, Trousers. You take that deal.
It's worth it. It still works, apparently, to this day, like 20 plus years later. So, yeah, it's, and then Kingdom Hearts 2, it just, anytime I've had a rough time in my life, I think Kingdom Hearts 2 was the game that got me through it. Or Kingdom Hearts in general, but like whether it's like heartache or like when I moved out for the first time, and it's very interesting to have when you feel alone moving out for the first time, like as everyone eventually will. You kind of feel alone, but when you're playing as a character who he gets taken from his home and has to go on an adventure for the first time by himself, you're kind of in those same boots, and you see it's not all that bad. You make friends along the way in Kingdom Hearts, just as you do, and it really helps you connect in that way. And I think it's very important to have games that you can connect to in such a way. And I don't think I've ever connected to a game as much as Kingdom Hearts.
Dude, that's a fantastic answer, man. I think that's some of the. I asked that question to literally almost every guest, and that's definitely one of my favorite answers that I've heard. So with that little icebreaker out of the way, all right. So we got to talk Scarlet and Violet, dude. Let's just dive right in. What's your raw take? Just raw take. What do you take away from looking at this trailer?
Raw take was there's a lot going on, and it makes Pokemon look interesting in a fresh way. I think, the co-op, the new Pokemon that we only saw a couple new Pokemon. There's 2 different professors, one for each game. That was very interesting to see.
I like that. Anything they can do to mix up the 2 games, I think, is a good idea. But keep going.
Just I want to explore that open world so badly. It looks really fun. It looks like it's gonna be the entire thing. I don't know if towns don't look like they exist. They didn't really show many towns, but like I know.
They show
they're
gas
there.
stations.
Yeah, they showed. I like those. That's perfect because in Sword and Shield, you kind of had to go back to a town to heal your Pokemon up.
Yeah.
But I like that it's out in that wild area that you can just go heal your Pokemon there. That's I don't know. It looks incredible, man. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And they gave us a release date, which is big.
Which is huge, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's always a gift.
Yeah, it's great. It's Pokemon. I think I'm leaning more towards Violet because purple's my favorite color. And that's the only reason why.
Dude, I'm with you there. I definitely prefer the color violet to scarlet, and I am partial to the color purple myself.
Yeah.
But like, I think I prefer the scarlet legendary.
I understand. Yeah. It's very interesting because I might have to go into something like that, but on Twitter people were pointing out that it looks like it's future past is kind of the themes.
Whoa!
Because even with like the professors.
Yeah, because she's got almost like kind of like a cave woman motif. You know what I'm saying? And he looks very modern and like yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. That's something to look out for.
Yeah, and I think their names. Someone pointed out that their names translate to past and future.
Well, what I know about this, and this is kind of what I like about this new Pokemon game, is a lot of this kind of stuff to chew on. I don't know the rival's name yet. I forgot. But I know her name in the Japanese version is Nemo, and Nemo supposedly means nobody.
That's
interesting, right?
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay.
Nimona, that's what it is. It's Nimona. That's
okay.
Yeah, that's her name. But yeah, apparently it's just Nemo in Japan, and that's supposed to mean nobody. I could have that completely wrong, by the way. Everyone should always check my shit.
You're like making my brain race now. Like, I wonder if she's more like, instead of a rival, going to be more of like a tutorial.
She looks like more of a guide than a rival, and it's like, listen, I prefer a guide than a friendly rival. The friendly rival thing never did it for me in Pokemon. You know, I miss the days of Smell you later. But who's the rival? What's the rival's name from Gold and Silver? I always forget it because I always make his name something stupid. But he's a great rival too. You know?
And because you kind of he's just a thief when you meet him, basically. Yeah.
He's a scoundrel.
Yeah.
You know?
Because doesn't he steal his starter? Isn't that how he gets it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is
I think
fucked up, man.
Yeah, that is. But it's
made me want to beat him. It made me want to beat him.
It gives you character development for him, and I think, with Barry, who just like finds you a lot of money every time you see him. But I think it makes more. It makes you more invested.
Yeah, definitely.
Develop a character like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's give a quick shout out to Sage of the Lodge, Corey Sarakis, who I have to read this in the chat because it's perfect. This is where I was going to take it next. He's asking who our starters are. I'm going Fuecoco. What are you doing?
I'm going Fuecoco or Quaxley. I haven't decided yet.
Or Quaxley. Quaxley's tempting, but Fuecoco just looks... Here's the thing. I got to see their evolutionary chain. Because at the end of the day, it's all about that final evolution. Because the final evolution is what you're stuck with. So for me, I haven't decided yet. But based on these three, I think Fuecoco is going to win me over.
I think so too. I think he's the one. He's leading for me right now. And it's weird because I've never picked a fire starter my first playthrough.
Really?
Pokemon game. No.
I feel like fire starters are almost always on point.
I went with Bulbasaur the first game.
Well, Bulbasaur is the best Pokemon of all time. Like,
exactly.
Everybody knows that. Yeah. Everybody knows that.
Exact. And then I went with Totodile, Mudkip, Piplup, who's my favorite starter.
Piplup is... Yeah, I'm with you there. I can't argue with Piplup.
Yeah, and then I went with Oswat, which was the most upsetting starter to me, actually.
Oshawott?
Yeah, because I don't like that it's an otter that evolves into a seal. I wanted an otter when I got him.
I suppose that's a little problematic.
Yeah, But like overall, I've never picked a fire starter, and my first playthrough, and I think this might be the one where I picked the fire starter.
Who is if you had to pick a favorite fire starter from the series, who are you picking?
Oh gosh. Okay. I mean, the basic answer would be Charizard, but
Fair.
but I love Blaziken. I really love.
I know
Blaziken.
Blaziken's a cool Pokemon,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and I don't. I think I'd have to go with him. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, that's a close one for me. But I might have to say I might be I might be a normie and just say Blaziken with you, just kind of go
Yeah.
with the flow. But
I understand.
But let's talk about the thing that really mixes things up. We talked about this a little bit in the pre-roll. This online co-op campaign mode.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so yeah, like you said, we talked about it a little bit. I think that's the exact change that can make Pokemon. It's such a subtle change that can make Pokemon feel so different.
Oh
And
yeah.
I think that's important. But as soon as I saw that, my mind went to competitive Nuzlocks.
Dude, when you brought that up to me, that now you can do like Nuzlocks in a party of 4,
Yeah.
that is such a remarkable idea. It would really imagine like a really high stakes Pokemon journey with your friends, where you're probably gonna do funeral ceremonies for Pokemon you lose in battle. Like
Well, I was also thinking, like, when you said something about everyone going different ways, like if you can fight the gyms randomly.
yeah, well, they mentioned that there's no particular direction to go in this game. You can kind of take things as you want them, when you want them, and that opens up so many possibilities. Like when you think about the things that really stand out in a positive way from this trailer, the idea that you can really travel this world at your leisure in the way you want, that's something Pokemon fans have been fishing for a long time, dude.
And I think it would be interesting though, if like in the competitive Nuzlocke thing that I'm imagining in my head, that if you run into like your friend, you have to do like a 2v2 battle with them.
Oh no!
So like there's a chance you're losing 2 Pokemon if
Oh
if
no! Yeah, because you oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, because you would have 4 people, and then you go and do the journey as you will. But if you ever cross that
Yeah.
dude, no,
Or at least a 1v1 battle or something,
something like that, yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause I think
That's cool.
That would be awesome. That would be amazing.
What do you think of some of the new Pokemon they showed off?
So I stan Lechonk. He's my favorite already. I gosh, his Pokedex entry, I changed it to my Twitter bio. And it says, it may appear fat at first glance, but in reality this Pokemon's body is mostly muscle, built by constantly walking around in search of food.
I don't. You're selling me on Lechonk. I don't know if you're a Lechonk salesman or if you're his PR guy, but you got me sold. He might make it to the Elite Four or whatever the equivalent is. I might have to keep him in there.
He's pure muscle.
Also, it's gonna be hard. Not just pure muscle from having to walk around and find food. I can't get over that shit.
Oh my gosh, it's great. I like Lechonk is definitely
I'll say this: it seems like they better understand their charm with what they showed in this trailer. Is that they kind of understand their charm? They kind of understand where their humor is. I will say, I wish the environments looked a little better.
I agree.
I feel like with all the I feel mostly positive about what I saw. But I would really be lying if I didn't say I was massively disappointed by what these landscapes look like.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like they, in a similar vibe, they have like Legends Arceus vibes. But I feel like Legends Arceus had their unique art style that made the landscapes work.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like it has Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has that same excuse here.
I wouldn't say so either.
Yeah. I totally can see why you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just because like if you're gonna tell me you're gonna set me free to explore this world, it can't just be about the Pokemon. I feel like if they put a lot of love into the environments, they could really make something like spectacular. But
Yes.
I'm always a big fan of focusing a little bit more on the positives. So I will say, literally just getting to go wherever you want to go. Because think about it, right? Like, my favorite types are Psychic and Dragon.
Okay.
And if I find out where those Psychic and Dragon Pokemon are, I'm just going to go there first.
Yeah.
And just go, and just like go exploring there. Like, those are my two favorite types. So it's like, I don't know, it's things like that I feel like, oh my God, I could almost target this journey a little better and be like, if I literally was myself, dropped in a Pokemon world, what would I do? And my answer, the Landy answer, is go find the Psychic and Dragon Pokemon. So if there's a way I can literally just like do that, if I could just make that my personal goal inside their sandbox, I think they're onto something really cool.
I think that's a good point. Like, I think if you can, I hope they actually do that. Like you said, they said no particular direction, so I'm assuming that's what it means.
Yeah, right. Like, I want to grain of salt it, just to be sure. But they were pretty forward about like, oh no, there's no, predestined route.
So do you think Pokemon in the wild are level based on gym badges then?
It'd be interesting if they were able to do it that way. Because I have thought about this. I know in like the more recent, like I gotta be honest, I haven't really watched the Pokemon anime since like Gen 2. But I know in like one of the more recent seasons, it was a thing where it's like the gym leader had a different team depending like what tier you were at.
Oh, okay.
So like if you had 2 badges, they're like, oh, this is the 2-badge team. If you had like 5 badges, like, oh, okay, we'll give them the 5-badge team to face. They had that kind of stuff going on, which to me makes way more sense because the idea that Brock is a gym leader or like a level 10 Geodude is a fucking embarrassment. The league should be fucking embarrassed for themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. But that makes me. I mean, that's the only way I can think of that wild area working in the open world.
Yeah.
If you could go anywhere, like you can't just go fight a level 50 Pokemon with your level 5 starter.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how the wild Pokemon will work, right? Like, I'm wondering if, imagine they divide the map up into several different sections, right? Like, I don't know, are you familiar with Breath of the Wild by chance?
A little bit, yeah. So,
A little bit. Okay, so think...
I know you can take those challenges any order you want or not do them at all.
Right, and like you kind of know how like it's kind of divided into different sections. Like, oh, here's the mountainous snow section. Here's like the volcano section. Excuse me. I'm wondering if what Pokemon's going to do is each section has like a different tier level. Like say we're looking at a snow mountain, right? This is one of the sections in the new map is Snow Mountain, whatever you want to call it, right? And at the base of the mountain is very low-leveled Pokemon. But the higher up the mountain you go, the higher the Pokemon level.
That's pretty cool.
Stuff like that, right? Or like if you're in a cave, right? And you get through the cave and you make your way to the exit. But instead of going to the exit, you could choose to go deeper into the cave. And that's where the Pokemon start to like accelerate in like their level. I feel like there are some creative solutions around this, right? Because, I mean, think about, again, I don't know how familiar with Breath of the Wild you are, but like there were different leveled Bokoblins depending on where in the section of the map you were.
Oh, yeah.
You know, stuff like that.
And actually, that's a good point, too, because, like, if it was gym battle-wise, or gym badge-wise,
yeah,
you can't get, like, egg Pokemon and train them up.
Exactly.
So I think that would have to be how it would work. Like, the farther you go into a certain section, the better Pokemon you can get. I like that.
Yeah, and again, I feel like there's some other things you could shimmy around it, or you could make it like chance encounters, right? Like, if your Pokemon are a median level of 18, right? Let's just take that for example. Maybe they could work something where it's like, okay, you'll have a 50% chance of running into a Pokemon around your level, 25% chance it's over-leveled, 25% chance it's under-leveled. You know, maybe they could I don't know. I'm just thinking of some like creative solutions for stuff like that.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I like there's so much they can do
Right.
to make it open as they want it to, at least. And I think I don't know, it's one of those things, either people are gonna love it or hate it. You know how Pokemon is right now. Like,
Dude, I don't know. I feel like Pokemon's winning for the first time in a really long while. But maybe it's. I mean, I was let down by Diamond and Pearl. I got to be honest. But Legends was so amazing. I have to be honest. It's probably. I think Soul Silver, Heart Gold is still my favorite Pokemon game of all time. But number 2, I think, is Legends, man.
That's Legends. I did have a harder time getting into Legends because I felt like filling out Pokedex entries was really tedious in that game.
See, that's what's funny is because, like, to me, it's like, I feel like that's who I'd be. If I was put in this Pokemon world, I feel like being the guy running around with, like, researching and gathering and, like, stuff like that, like catching the Pokemon, I'd be much more into, I don't know, it just felt more organic to myself. That's all, I suppose.
And that's exactly why I think Legends is, like, really good. It gives you, like, a different view of the Pokemon world and lets you do different things,
Oh, yeah.
Like, if they had a game that was just, like, Pokemon Contest, where it was just, what aspect? Like, where they do the, I think they were introduced in Sapphire and Ruby.
Okay.
The Pokemon show contest?
Yeah, the contest.
Like, if they made a game around that or something would be really interesting, too, or just something, something that was not, you have to be a trainer.
Right.
I think that's great to have.
Yeah, now, I wanted to bring up another... Actually, what was the name of the rivals? Let's call her the rival, even though she might be like a guy. But what was the name of that little mouse Pokemon she threw?
Oh, Palmy.
Palmy, right? What do you think of people who are saying it's going to evolve into Gotochu?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know You don't know Gotochu? Yo, okay, yo, we're gonna do a dive. We're gonna do a dive. 1 second. So Gotochu, if I'm not mistaken, I think is supposed to be from Gen 2 or Gen 3. No. This is supposed to be Gen 1. It was supposed to be an evolved form of Raichu. So in Gen 1, it was supposed to go Pikachu, Raichu, Gotochu. Do you happen to have the podcast?
I do have it up.
You do have it up? Okay, so I'm going to actually pull this up so everybody can see it. Let me see how this looks. Oh boy, hold on. Let's go here. Okay, take a quick look at this, everybody. This is Gotochu, and this was supposed to be the evolved form of Raichu in Gen 1, before they canned it later. Okay, so now let's get him out of here. Woo! So
I need him.
You need him, yeah, dude. Like he's a cool looking Pokemon. Like don't get me wrong, I love Raichu. Personally, I actually think Alolan Raichu one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and one of my favorite designs of all time. So, but Gotochu looks sick, and when I look at that small new Pokemon, I'm like, it's got that color scheme. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I like it. I would love to see them use older artwork or older ideas in these new games too.
Yeah,
ones that just they couldn't get done or what, I would love that.
Yeah, how do you? I might have asked this already, but how do you feel about the new Pokemon that they showed off?
I mean, they showed off 5, I think, right?
Yeah, we didn't get a lot of them, but they did show off a number of them.
Yeah, so...
I mean, we brought up Lechonk. I think we were talking about this, but we got hung up on Lechonk. We talked about, what's his name, Palmy? Is that the small little orange dude?
Palmy, and then I think it was the starters.
Gotcha.
Or the other 3. Or I think, unless I missed something.
I'll say this.
Oh, and the legendaries.
Let's talk about the legendaries. So, look, they look like motorcycles.
Yeah.
Because let's just be honest. Let's follow this to its logical conclusion. When you're going to be able to roam with your Pokemon out of the Pokeball in this game. When you have the motorcycle legendary, you're going to be able to rip that thing around the region. Is it bad that I'm actually really excited for that?
That
Like,
would be. Oh, that would be.
if
Great.
they don't do that, I'm furious.
Yeah.
I am furious. If you make an open world game and you make motorcycle legendaries and you allow these Pokemon to be out of the Pokeball and you don't let me ride that motorcycle Pokemon around the open world, I'll be furious, dude. Furious.
I would love that. Any rideable Pokemon is a plus. In first of all, but yeah, if you're doing motorcycle Pokemon, you better let me ride a motorcycle Pokemon.
You better. You better. I mean, I want to see some of that come back, right? Because, like, dude, I think about, you remember when the Let's Go games came out?
Mm-hmm.
That let you ride on the back of your Charizard?
Yeah,
Where'd that idea go?
I
Why didn't that become the standard?
it really should. I'm surprised, like, just walking around with your Pokemon hasn't been the standard since Pokemon Yellow did it.
Right?
And, like, yeah, like I know it was just Pikachu, like you could walk around with in Yellow, but
But even still.
yeah, like why didn't you continue that? That would have been such a great. And like Sword and Shield put it in their DLC, but it's not in the main game, and I thought that was weird.
That was a little weird.
Yeah, but yeah, I would riding Pokemon. Even like if you put like races, like if you had a Rapidash race or something, where you could race around a track on a Rapidash, that would be really cool.
Stuff like that. This is the kind of stuff I want. Mini games and like post game. Can I tell you?
And it's great for co-op. It's great for.
Oh, it would be fantastic for co-op. Yeah, because people would race their like Rapidashes and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. All right, and like here's something Pokemon has always struggled with. Honestly, I'll say with the exception of Sword and Shield, I'll be real about this. They used to be the masters of post game. You beat Gen 2, you unlocked Gen 1.
Well, that was the best one.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Where'd that idea go? Gen 3, do you remember the hideouts, dude?
Oh yeah, the secret bases.
The secret base. Where'd that idea go?
That's yeah.
Like, I want more of that back. You know what I mean? I enjoy the campaigns. I enjoy the journey. Sword and Shield, what got me, though, was just the wild area being awesome. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, like, because here's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, Pokemon isn't the most riveting experience. It's not the most challenging experience. It's not the most, I guess you would say, like, forward-pushing game. It's very, like, a lot of what brings me into Pokemon is nostalgia, and I will say they perfected it when in Sword and Shield I discovered Eevee Island. And it was an island where every day a different evolution would appear. And I caught myself on about day 4 of staking that place out once a day. I went, oh my god, it's kind of like when I was a kid.
It's all what I've always wanted.
I kind of had that moment where I was like, oh damn. They actually successfully brought me back, and all it took was Eevee Island. So I hope this game organizes its wild area in a similar fashion, because Sword and Shield had a lot of cool, like, pockets. Little weird pockets you could find. Again, like this little, like, Eevee Island. I want to see more of that, because that as a post-game was incredible. I'll say this. At the end of the day, I will have put more hours into Sword and Shield than I will of Legends.
Yeah, I think I put like over 300 hours in it.
Yeah, I'm in the hundreds somewhere. I'm like 100 or 200.
When I was in high school, I thought it was crazy when I put 100 in X and Y. And since, like I told you, I'm learning the competitive scene. It's a lot of grinding.
Is there anything, I'll say, since you're someone who's learning the competitive scene, is there anything that ticked you off in this trailer that has implications for the competitive scene?
No, just especially because, like, I don't know anything about any of the Pokemon, really. Like, I don't know if they have, bigger evolutions.
Okay.
I don't know what types the legendaries are. I don't know what the final evolutions of the starters are and stuff and what they can do. So I couldn't say anything. And like with confidence at all.
I gotcha. Okay. Is there anything that we haven't discussed in the trailer that you maybe wanted to talk about? I'll say this: I think the character designs are actually really good. I think both professors look awesome. Okay, like we got the wild woman and we got the Chad. Fucking great.
Yeah.
The rival like looks like a cool person. You know what I mean? Like they look very like anime weebish, but like it's Pokemon. That's right on brand. But like I don't know, when you compare it to like Hop from Gen 7, I think it was,
Yeah.
and stuff, it's like like this character's somewhat aesthetic, compared to previous rivals. Who was even the Gen 8 rival? I don't even care to remember.
Was that Hop? Actually, that was Hop.
Was that? Yeah, then who's Gen
Yeah.
7? I mixed them up.
How?
Howling something.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Who
And
cares?
I think this game is thriving because it's using characters that look like the new Pokemon Snap characters.
Yeah.
And but like you were saying, like the landscapes and stuff, they don't feel like new Pokemon Snap landscapes or anything.
I would say so.
Yeah. But I mean, like, Pokemon's always a game that I feel like has done baby steps on improving. And that's why it doesn't feel like they improve much, but they're always improving a little bit, like every game. And they're a company with money that can do bigger improvements.
That's kind of where I'm at with these landscapes. I'm like, you sickos, you're the most profitable franchise on the planet right now. Like ever. You
And that's
can't
just
give
based
me
off cards. Just cards alone, they have more money than I'll ever make in my life.
I guess that's all. That's the only thing. That's my really only thing that concerned me with the trailer. Everything else I actually think is quite exciting. I wonder what they're gonna do for a campaign.
I'm sorry. In the trailer too, one thing that like blew me away was it looks like Pokemon are gonna be their actual size in the trailer. Like, did you see the Flabébé? Like,
Yes, yeah, no, I saw something about
tiny.
this. Yeah.
Tiny. Like, they're gonna be. I think they're having actual sizes, which
This would be cool.
yeah,
This would be cool.
to have like a whale lord just walking around behind you.
Just a big boy. Just a
Yeah,
big boy.
You gotta. Did you? How do you feel about the? Basically, they're saying like the old catching mechanic is the catching mechanic instead of Legends.
It has to be that way. Like, I'm sorry. I think, don't get me wrong, I love the catching mechanic in Legends. But here's the thing. Legends is going to be its own series, So one, these games have to be different from each other. They can't be the same thing. Two, the reason why that mechanic exists in Legends is because Legends is designed for you to catch a lot in a little amount of time. To catch multiple. Like, in Legends, you're catching 30 Psyducks. In this game, you catch one Psyduck. 2 if you're going to breed them. Like, at most. It's a different game. It's a different approach. So I don't know. I as much as I really... I love that mechanic. I think it's the best catching mechanic they ever had. But these games do need to be different, and you can't allow people to rack up Pokemon that easily. Because I would catch, level 50, 3rd evolution Pokemon by throwing, a Great Ball at it when it had its back turned. And that's great when you're playing Legends, but I feel like if you're playing a stereotypical gen, it's just not going to fly that way. It makes it too easy, right? Because your Pokemon also gained experience when you caught Pokemon. So you're telling me you could catch some Pokemon, you could never let them see battle, and you'll just throw around and wait for them to level up in a game that's designed around them needing to battle. I don't know. That's just my raw take.
I 100% agreed. I was seeing a lot of people bummed out it didn't have the Legends mechanic, but
I prefer the Legends mechanic, but you can't have the same game.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. I think if you want the Legends mechanic, play Legends. It
It's
came out
right
less
there.
than a year ago. Too.
It's right there. Thank
brand
you.
new.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's right there. You can have it. I'm with you there, dude.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that like really stuck. I have a whole list I actually wrote. Just
Oh, we gotta. Can we see the list? Can we just see a quick flash of that
it's
list?
Terrible. I have. Terrible
Yeah, buddy. Let's go.
But the other big thing that I thought was incredible too was did you see that Toby Fox worked on some of the music for this game?
What?
Yeah, he tweeted about it. I think right after the trailer that he did a lot of the Wild music.
Really?
Yeah.
This is the Undertale guy, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So he did some of the field music for
That's cool. Here's it. Pokemon games always have a pretty solid soundtrack. So I've never worried about the Pokemon soundtrack, but this is something to be excited about.
Yeah, I just think it's I think it's interesting to I just like his story in general with Undertale growing as big as it got. Now he's working on Pokemon. That's really cool.
That is cool. That is cool.
Like you
respect.
It's
right
like an
there.
underdog story, just going. It's great. So I just like I can't wait to hear the music he did, and like it makes me more invested in the music than I'm already going to be. But I'm happy for him in general, just because I thought like just the music. I guess.
Yeah. No, dude, I'm with you. I think there's a lot of exciting things happening, and again, I just want to bring up the online co-op mode again. Like, to me, that's one of the coolest things they've ever done. Like, if I really can, like, if me and my fiance can buy this game on the same day, get our starter Pokemon, and meet in the field and just go, that is so sick, dude.
It's great. It's great, and I mean, like, it's like Animal Crossing Pokemon. I like in my
Yes.
That's exactly.
And imagine you combine that with things like hideouts and secret bases.
Yes.
Then it really would be like a hybrid of those two, wouldn't it?
I would love that. There has to be stuff for you to do other than battle that's co-op. Like
right.
It has to be if you're doing a co-op game, Like it can't just be let them run around and catch Pokemon single player style.
That and like you have an interest in people wanting people to continue playing your game months after they've purchased it. If your entire post game is reliant on other people having and owning the game and the need to interact with them, I feel like that isn't the best move. I feel like they need to introduce more of these sort of like mini games and post game, whether it be hideouts or new areas and stuff. And Sword and Shield did good with this by way of like paid DLC, but I would like to see more of that kind of stuff baked into the actual game itself. Which did you ever play the old Pokemon stadiums on N64?
Yes, I played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
Do you remember the mini games?
Yes, the Lickitung one specifically comes to mind.
And I don't, and I don't know if this was exclusive to 2. I think you could do it in 2 and 1. But if you had the Pokemon that was used in that minigame, you could use your Pokemon in that minigame.
That's so cool.
So imagine if you brought some of those minigames back that players can play together and they can use their Pokemon in those games. Like, I feel like little things like that would keep people playing forever, because I feel like Pokemon is always better when you're playing with someone else.
That's great. And like Pokemon evolved, the Pokemon that evolved with friendship too.
Yeah.
That's a perfect
like
mechanic that's a perfect mechanic to raise their
play mini games with Eevee. Exactly.
Yeah. I think that would be I didn't even think about mini games until we started. But there's so much that could be so, fun. It doesn't have to just be battling. And I hope they thought about that too. Because that would be epic. That would be so epic of them.
It would be.
Love it.
It would be awesome, dude. It would be awesome. Trousers, we never took a minute for you to actually plug yourself and tell people what it is you do and where they can find you. We're coming up on 45 minutes, so I want to make sure we get this. But coincidentally, I also really got to run to the little boys' room. So if you can hold it down, let people know who you are, what you do, where they can find you, and I'll be right back.
All right, go fast. I'm going to speed run.
We'll do this, baby. You got this.
All right, guys. Hi, my name's Ill-Fitting Trousers. I am on Twitch at twitch.tv/illfittingtrousers, where I do variety streaming. Lately, we've been playing... Gosh, what have we been playing? We've been playing Pokemon because one of my viewers has been teaching me competitive Pokemon. We've been playing Splitgate. My other friend is getting me into the Halo series, so we're about to finish Halo 2. I just gotta wait for him to get back from his camping trip. And then we've been playing a lot of other stuff too. I've been, I think Resident Evil was one of my first streams and stuff. So basically anything's on the table when it comes to that. And then I'm also on YouTube as Ill-Fitting Trousers, and I just make different content videos for YouTube and sometimes upload my live streams there and stuff too when they're story-based games.
Well, dude, let me tell you, I've tuned into a few of your streams since getting to know you, and you always have such a positive and genuine vibe. It's so, sometimes I like to get a lot of work done late night, and I know you're on the West Coast, I'm over here on the East Coast, so there's a big time gap between us. But I love when I'm just staying up late doing work at 11 p.m. You're just there. I throw you on. I remember I was lurking in your Kirby and the Forgotten Land stream, and dude, it was just so much fun, man. So let me just I'm actually gonna throw some shout outs out. We've got all your links in the episode description. So guys, definitely check out our man Ill-Fitting Trousers. Again, I'm gonna go and drop his link into the YouTube chat as well. We've talked a lot about Pokemon. I did want to make a little bit of time to talk about the state of play that happened today. Which, it's so funny how all of this kind of just snowballed on us. We had plans to do the podcast in 3 weeks, and then the next thing we know, the gaming world just got hit with a tactical nuke. So, we just had to get this going now.
It was the best time, though, honestly. It was the best time to do it.
Oh, yeah. So, dude, all right, just state of play? How you feeling?
Okay, when you start a state of play, I told you this earlier, but when you start a state of play with Resident Evil 4 Remake and end it with Final Fantasy 16, all in a span of 30 minutes, nothing felt slow. Nothing felt drawn out, and I think it was just banger after banger after banger, and I love it. It was such a good state of play.
Dude, they knocked it out of the park. It's so funny because before it started, I was talking about getting clowned all day. And this is great. I love my life right now. I went into that Kingdom Hearts event and I was like, we ain't getting shit. We'll get Dark Road announcement month at best. And then we got the tidal wave and I was just like, yeah. Going to this state of play, I was talking to my chat. I was like, guys, I can't remember one memorable state of play. These are always a letdown. Da-da-da. And then we got hit with that. And dude, it just looks so good. I'll say this, obviously it's on the PS5, but this is the most beautiful looking Final Fantasy game I've ever seen. Now, art style wise, it's not my favorite. Color palette wise, it's not my favorite. But just kind of aesthetically, it looks so good, dude.
Honestly, the only thing I didn't like about the look of it is the health bars in the corner. They look too futuristic for
they do have a bit of a cyber vibe to them.
Yeah,
as opposed to a more fantasy vibe. But dude, call me crazy, I could have sworn I heard laser beam sound effects at one point.
Okay, so maybe if that's the vibe they're going for, then that's perfect. That's on.
If I know anything, right? Yeah. Okay, so this was Creative Business Unit 3. These are a lot of the guys who worked on Final Fantasy 14. Now, what Final Fantasy 14 has going for it, at least with that kind of stuff, is it's definitely hardcore fantasy element, but there's ancient Magitech armor and forgotten Magitech technologies lying around that, different people or civilizations have made use of. So I'm wondering if it's this is a fantasy story, we're in the fantasy world, but there's some unwritten past where all this like sort of tech is from. I don't know. They could possibly be doing that kind of scenario.
That would be really interesting then. Like, if it fits with the story, I'm fine with it. It just, from what I saw of that game, it's like it looks like more.
I did like.
Past, yeah.
I did like the HUD on the bottom right and bottom left though. Like first of all, the D-pad being a quick menu. This is what it looked like anyway. But it looked like the D-pad is this like shortcut menu for your items. Like if you want to use a potion or an ether or any of that, you don't have to like open a menu or hold L1 to open a menu. You literally just tap the D-pad you assigned it to. I think that's genius.
I like that more than, well, Final Fantasy 15 used it for weapon change.
Yeah.
Which was fine. Like it worked with Noctis.
Of course.
But I also like that more than the game pausing, like Final Fantasy 7 Remake.
Ooh, when
like,
you open the command menu and it goes in
yeah.
like super slow-mo.
Yeah, I think I like that more than it pausing. Like it works for Final Fantasy 7. It's good.
Yeah.
It's just
You prefer it the other way? No,
yeah.
the more you can keep us in the like heat of combat, the better. Which I'll say that I'm with you. The health bars I wasn't crazy about, but I'll say this: the action interface on the bottom right and bottom left looked very appealing to me. I will say though, I was surprised by the game's release date. I actually didn't think it would be that far away.
There was I think there was like an interview where they said it was all but done. So I
that's the thing. Well,
summer too.
they said they were in the polishing and debugging phase, which is usually like that is like towards the end of game development.
Yeah.
But depending on the size of what needs to be debugged, it can take a while.
Yeah, and if the game's big, I guess it will. I don't know much about that phase myself, and
I guess
how long it's going to take. But
some insight might be that when you look at Creative Business Unit 3, Final Fantasy 14 is their baby, right? But when that game first launched, it was a disaster, and they've polished it and made it into something unbelievable. Like it's a top 5 Final Fantasy for me. But I think with 16 this time around, they're like, not again. This game is going to be perfect when we release it. No exceptions. And I can respect that if that's what they're doing here.
In any studio that learns from its mistakes is a good studio.
Yeah.
And I guarantee like CD Projekt Red won't make the same mistakes as Cyberpunk. This
freaking hope not.
I I trust that company actually, just because like The Witcher 3 was one of my favorite games of last generation.
I gave Witcher 3 a shot. I played it for about 12 hours. I had a good time, but it ended up just like fading into the backlog.
I understand. It's a big game.
I think that's really what it was. You know what it is? I fell in love with Nier Automata. Kind of stole me away. 2B stole me from Geralt. And it's funny because they're both guest characters in Soul Calibur 6. So
I need to play Nier Automata.
Automata's good, bro. It's the only Nier game I've played, but Automata's good, bro.
I'll have to touch upon that series.
They're making an anime, dude, which I'm pretty hyped for. Cause like
Square in their animes lately.
Honestly, did you watch The World Ends With You anime?
I haven't played The World Ends With You yet.
Whoa!
It's on my backlog, and I don't want to touch the anime until.
I'd watch the anime if I were you.
Okay.
Give it a shot. It tells the story of the first game. I mean, the game tells the story better. But the anime does a very good job of filling you in. That if you wanted to just watch the anime and then skip ahead to Neo, you really could. They give you the context you need. I mean, there's a couple of secret ending cutscenes you may want to watch, but for the most part, the anime will get you covered.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, because I'll check that out. Then I do have a Funimation, so like I know I can watch it there, and that's, man. Okay, I love the animation on it too. I watched the trailer for that anime.
It's good. It's got its own unique aesthetic, dude. It's got its own unique aesthetic.
Okay, I'll watch it.
It's definitely a worthy watch. You know what else concerns me about 16 though? And who knows, this might be what I end up loving about the experience. But it doesn't look like you're going to have a party. It looks like you're flying solo, dude.
Huh. I mean, the main character does look like a solo guy.
He does have a lone wolf
Yeah.
vibe. Look, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, ooh, that's very new for Final Fantasy.
No one to heal you. No, just
Just the D-pad, bro.
yeah. The D-pad's my only friend. Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, a lot of Final Fantasy characters, like Cloud, he seems to be like the lone wolf vibe too.
No, yes, Cloud's the kind of character where, like, he puts forward that front, but very early in the game, you see characters like Tifa and Aerith deconstruct it, and you're like, oh, he's actually like a little softy.
Yeah.
He's a little softy underneath that, yeah.
So, I guess, do we have a name for that character yet?
Clive.
Clive. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Clive and Joshua. Those are the only two characters I really know.
Yeah. Okay. I actually now.
I will say I love pulling the summons into the center of the story.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, some of my favorite Final Fantasies, the summons are really just like tools that are used by the characters. But one of the things I really loved about Final Fantasy X was how they made the summons a real, like, tangible part of the story. And it looks like 16 is taking that angle to, like, the 10th degree.
It kind of looks like you're about to go all God of War on the summons.
Yeah.
Yeah, which would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be like a Clash of the Titans kind of vibe.
Yeah, oh man.
Yo, yeah, that'd be wild.
That could be really cool. That could be, yeah.
There's a lot to be excited about with what we saw in there. But I guess, I don't know, is there anything else with Final Fantasy you wanted to touch on before maybe we hop back into Pokemon?
Just, I'm excited. That's all I like. It's one of those games I don't want to, like, because Square has, they have that problem of showing too much.
Yes.
I'm worried they'll show too much.
I think we're okay with 16 because, like, they showed us what they needed to show us, but, like, so much of that story is still kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
I don't feel like anything was spoiled for me. But I think we'll be okay. I don't think they're going to show off too much.
That's good. Yeah.
I think they would have teased us a lot earlier than now. Also, did you get the vibe that they felt like they almost had to drop this trailer?
Yeah, I did, just because I think a lot of people thought it was coming out this year. I was one of those people who thought that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, honestly, I think they just wanted to feel like, no, it's not coming out this year.
They wanted to clear the air on that.
Yeah. And I think that was smart on them, because clearing the air half a year before it would have been like an issue, I feel like, for a lot. You know how people are with their games. They get all greedy about them. And
well, dude, let me ask you, do you think there's a chance that Remake Part 2 comes out before 16?
No, not a chance.
No chance. I always said you could probably expect it holiday 2023 or like spring 20. Wait. Am I getting that right? Yeah, holiday 2023 or spring 2024. Like, that's kind of where I see it falling.
I think Remake's being worked on heavily, but I think we'll start seeing a trailer for it after this game comes out or around the time it comes out.
Oh yeah, I mean, they did say we were gonna.
Oh, did they say it?
I think Kitase, and I mean, a lot of people are taking Nomura's statements to saying we'll see something this month, but that could just be about Ever Crisis. I really think it's just about Ever Crisis.
Okay, we still got Summer Game Fest coming up.
Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah.
But who was it? I think it's Kitase who said we'll see something with Remake Part 2 this year.
Oh, good. I wanted, so when 16 got announced, I was actually bummed that it wasn't 7 Remake 2. Because a little bit, like, I broke down because I was just fresh coming off Final Fantasy 7 Remake,
I won't lie. I'm itching for part 2, man.
I am
As
too.
far as remake is concerned, like, dude, again, like, Kingdom Hearts is probably my favorite series of all time. But I might be itching for part 2 of 7 Remake more than Kingdom Hearts 4. I might. I don't know. It's so...
I am too. But it's just because I know 7 Remake 2 will come out before 4.
I think it's going to be close.
I hope they're close.
I think they're going to be close.
I want an incredible year of gaming. And if they're close, that's fine with me.
Same.
Yeah. I'll play them both.
Yeah.
They can have the same release date and I'll buy them.
But it looks... Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to need a week off work, I'll tell you that.
Exactly.
I'll say this, though. Like, overall, I mean, look, the Pokemon trailer was great. We got the release date, which was huge. But it looks like 2023 is going to be a pretty slim year for games. You know?
Yeah, well...
My backlog is singing, like, Acquire Him right now.
And that's great. There's so much that I still want to play and I still need to get to.
Yeah, I feel like we've reached a time where, like, going into droughts is actually a good thing because now everybody can breathe and catch up on the things that they missed, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like, especially, like, things like Game Pass makes that even more, your backlog's even more full, you know? Like,
yeah.
Because
it's just ever expansive.
You have access to all these, you know, these incredible things, and I definitely, I'm trying to think of what, I need to finish, Shadow of Colossus is the big one I need to finish.
Yeah, it's a game. That's one of those games like Horizon Zero Dawn where it's like I really want to play you, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah, I have so many other games I gotta play.
Yeah, I think I'll play that game when I'm like 70 years old and retired, and people will think I'm a retro gamer. Like that's when I'll play Shadow of the Colossus and Horizon Zero Dawn.
There you go. I'll watch that stream. I'll tune in.
Oh, dude, can you imagine what it'll be? Like, oh god, I don't even wanna. But 2023 is looking crazy for games.
Yeah, and I always feel like that's always the thing though. Next year always looks better.
Because nothing's been delayed yet.
Yeah. Oh god, fingers crossed for Final Fantasy 16. I don't think it will at all, but just gotta knock on wood real quick.
Do you think this could be total copium? This could be total copium right now.
Oh yeah.
But do you think the new move is to do what Xenoblade did and be like, yeah, you could expect it at this time, and everyone's like, oh, okay, September, and then they just knock on your door in March and they go, hey, it's gonna be ready in June, and then people go ape shit. Is there any chance that they?
I hope.
Right.
I hope.
Dude, I just want to play it now.
Yeah, it's better than, like, you know, Starfield was upsetting because they put this hard release date on Starfield.
Oh yeah.
And then they just went, nah.
Yeah.
That one hurt a little bit because I like that sci-fi stuff, so it's like
I got you.
I was all excited for it, but I can wait still. It's just.
We'll just
you gave me a false hope there, you know, that's the problem.
We'll just have to wait it out.
Yeah.
We are coming up over an hour here, so we have a few things thrown into the chat that I would like to address. Corey Sarakis asked who each of our starters is going to be. We addressed that earlier. We both said we're looking at Fuecoco right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, talking about the Gorochu, Big Pika TTV. Says, oh god, says, yes, Gorochu, developers ran out of room, rest in peace, my dad. Only available image is the back sprite, legit image, we need my dad. So is it canon that Gorochu is Big Pika's dad? That's great. Luigi Robs says, I forgot we're in the E3 time of year. Yeah, so we can expect to see a few things drop on our plate. You know what I mean? I think Final Fantasy 16 and Kingdom Hearts 4 is just the tip of the iceberg. And Xenoblade. I think there's even more coming. We
just got Resident Evil 4 remake today.
That's another 2023 title. Like 2023 is looking loaded, baby.
Yeah. That's March 23rd of March. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they had a full day. I think it's
They-
24th, but maybe it's
Oh
23rd.
yeah. You're right.
But yeah, Luigi Rob says Breath of the Wild 2, probably talking about 2023 games. Yeah, 2023 is looking loaded, man. Jordan, Sage of the Lodge, says, really out of the ballpark question, but with the cost of living and inflation reaching all-time highs over the past 40 years, do you see video games becoming more expensive? Whoa, there's a loaded question, Jordan, and I appreciate this nuanced question. I think we're already seeing it. I think that's what DLC is the consequence of. The fact of the matter is, GameCube games were $50, right? GameCube games were $50 20 years ago. The idea that games are only $60 now will not last forever. I think what you can expect is within the next few years, they're going to go up to $70, and you'll see things like DLC become more of the norm. Because, I mean, you even see it with the file size, right? I think I was just playing Final Fantasy X-2. My save file is 10.5 megabytes. Okay? My 7 remake file, I think, is like 60 gigabytes or something crazy like that. So it's like the technology that's used to make games is so much more heavy and expansive. The amount of skill it takes to create these games and create these assets is becoming more expansive. The amount of people you need to work on these games is becoming more expansive. I think it's only a matter of time until you see that $60 price tag go up to $70, and until you see things like DLC become even more of the norm. Trousers, how do you feel about that question?
I mean, I 100% agree. I think also as things get more expensive too, you're going to see just the cost of everything go up, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how life in general works. And like a lot of studios are based out of California. You know, we have a high minimum wage here too. So like prices for developer, they'll want more money. It kind of all.
It's all entangled, bro. It's all
exactly.
it's all entangled.
Like,
but at the end of the day, it's like. And look, I accept the criticism if somebody wanted to say I'm simping for fucking video game developers right now, but a lot of time and a lot, like, how do we put this? 7 Remake is a 40-hour RPG, right? The campaign is about a 40-hour RPG. Do you know how many hours of work it took to get you that 40-hour RPG? You're talking about thousands upon thousands upon thousands of working hours to bring you a 40-hour experience. It's like the idea that you spend an hour cooking and you're done eating in 10 minutes. It's like, at the end of the day, video games, as far as entertainment goes, are still the best bang for your buck. And if they raise the prices on these things up to $70, I'm not an it is what it is kind of guy. I think you should voice yourself when you feel like something is wrong. But a lot of these developers are underpaid. And a lot of people working in this industry aren't getting what they deserve. And if I have to pay an extra $10 to buy these games, I'll understand. Because at the end of the day, dude, I'll line up and go to a freaking movie theater. I will spend $20 on the ticket, and then I'll spend $20 on the snacks, and probably burn $5 worth of gas just getting there. I've run up $45. I was entertained for 2 hours. Persona 5 Royal cost me $60. I played it 3 times. That's 360 hours for $60. I was entertained for over 300 hours as opposed to $45 for 2 hours. So if movie tickets can raise their prices and no one's going to bitch about them, I feel like it's not the worst thing in the world if video games, especially good ones, raise their price up to $70. But one last thing, I'm sorry, I'm ranting so hard on this. If they raise the price of gaming, then I also want a little bit more content in there as well at the end of the day.
Yeah, I agree. I was also going to say, I think with like price raises and stuff, it just goes like, it pays now to be a more informed gamer. Like, the more you look into the product you're buying, the more like you can make better decisions on what you're buying. Like some games might be worth waiting until it goes on sale for like $40.
Right.
Some games might, like you can make more informed decisions, and I think that will encourage more people to make more informed decisions too, because you get a lot of, I think the Order 1886 was like a big one that kind of like
Yeah.
was a $60 game for like 3 hours of gameplay or something, and
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I mean, I always encourage people to, and again, people could do what they want. Like, I got a friend who has the exact opposite approach. I love him, and it's just his preference. But to me, I'm like, I encourage people to fall in love with a few games a year rather than just buying up the new thing or like trying everything out. Like at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to play everything. I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn. I want to play Shadow of the Colossus. I'm probably never going to get around to them. But I would encourage people that, if you buy a game and you find yourself really enjoying it, explore that game for everything it has to offer you. Explore the maps, explore the different gameplay. Like, I've always found sometimes less is more. It's tough to be spending 60, $70 once a month to buy a new game every month. But maybe you're better off buying a game you can fall in love with and just playing that for everything that it has to offer. That's at least my approach. Sometimes I take a less is more approach with this kind of stuff.
I think that's a good way to view it too. Just like you aren't gonna get to everything. That's kind of why like a lot of times I will pick up my backlog games that I want when they're cheaper.
Yeah,
like,
it pays to wait.
Yeah,
it pays to wait.
Like, I wasn't gonna play it yet either anyway, but if it's I actually picked up the Neo The World Ends With You for like $20.
Solid. Bro, but that 20, okay, check that, $20. You got a 40-hour RPG. You're being entertained for 50 cents an hour. Where else are you going to get that deal?
Yeah, exactly.
Where else can you get that deal, Trousers?
Yeah. On Twitch for free with watching the Landy Lodge right here.
Yeah. I suppose. Jordan, who asked the question, says, great answers, guys. I would have asked specific questions, but I came into the stream late. Hey, no problem. We're glad you're here, Jordan. The dude says, hey, Landy, sorry I'm late to the stream. You're not late to the stream. The stream was early to you. Like, that's what you got to understand, man. Like, it ain't on you. It's on the stream. We started too early. I should be on the West Coast like Trousers. Then we would have started at 11 o'clock or something. But anyway, dude, any final thoughts on Pokemon before we maybe either move on to some other things or start to wrap this up?
No, other than I just think this is going to be the most advanced Pokemon.
What are the three things you want to see most from this game? How about that? What are the three things you want to see them do the most in this installment?
Well, now mini games.
Yeah.
mini games for co-op. I want to see that. I want. I feel like everything I want is already like prevalent there though. Like
okay.
The open world where you could just kind of go at your own pace. I like that.
That's huge.
That would have been one. And
that's
then,
huge.
Just Oh, I would love to see the full national Pokedex back, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Do you think it's unfeasible, or do you think they're being lazy?
Okay,
I don't have a concrete opinion on that, but I see that conversation all the time.
I don't think it's impossible. The Switch has games that's incredibly big, like games on there. But I will say again, getting into the competitive scene and stuff, the smaller Pokedex made it so much easier to figure out what I wanted to do competitively in that scene.
Is that why they're doing it? Is Pokemon trying to invest in their competitive scene, and that's what these? No,
I think.
Go ahead.
I think the Pokemon company's about money. To be honest, I think that's a perk of doing that. So I don't think they did it with a reason to invest in the competitive scene.
Okay.
I think I just meant it made it easier for like newcomers to get into the competitive scene.
I gotcha. Okay, because again, you said it's more balanced. It's a little bit more simplified when you have a smaller pool of Pokemon that are competing against one
Yeah,
another.
I mean, picking from 400 Pokemon to 1,000 Pokemon, it's
Whole
easier,
other animal, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Whole other animal. Jordan Krupka again says, I want some sort of challenge mode or progress, or that gym leaders progress with your current level, like I believe they did in Black and White. How do you feel about that, Trousers?
Did they progress with your current level in Black and White?
Black
I
and
didn't
White
know
is
that.
actually one of the 2 gens I missed, so I don't know.
Okay. Black and White were one of the gens where I thought I was like, I'm getting too old for Pokemon. Like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I didn't really like Black and White, to be honest.
Yeah, I got some people. I got some people in my corner who will vouch for Black and White, dude.
I'll probably get a lot of hate for saying that. I know I will. It wasn't the game that got my attention.
Yeah.
But I want to replay it. I still have my copy, so I might give it another shot. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
SMH says, sorry, I'm a couple minutes behind on the stream. As a recently graduated game dev, I appreciate you simping for me by association. How are you, SMH? Listen, I'll simp for you guys anytime. Honestly, game devs have delivered to me my favorite narrative experiences I've ever had. And again, with gaming, there's no better bang for your buck. Okay, 30-hour RPG, you spend $60 on it. You are entertained for 50 cents an hour. You go anywhere else, go to a restaurant, go to the movies, go to an amusement park, go literally anywhere else and see who's going to cut you that deal. Game devs are cutting you that deal. Whether they, and if it were up to me, which it's not, as few things should be left up to me, you guys would get a larger cut of the pie too. But in order to have any say in that, I got to start my own gaming company. But, world's crazy. Yeah, you just graduated.
And he's underpaid already.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. God damn it.
No, I'm just saying, you deserve more already. Like, you just graduated and you.
I believe it. Let me tell you something, man. If actors can make millions running around in tights, the people who designed the Yozora boss can get a little bit of cheese. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Jordan says, as a follow-up to his previous comment, can't remember which gen progressed with your level. Okay, so we know a gen does it, but we don't know which particular gen. But I think that would be cool. We were talking about it a little bit earlier that maybe they do what they did in one of the animes, that depending how many badges you had dictated what team the gym you faced would use, right? So I feel like something like that could maybe work.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that idea.
How do you feel about Pokemon? Because I think there was a few things in that trailer that almost looked a little dungeon crawly. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see if I can maybe pull up an exact moment I could reference. I feel like it was maybe early in the trailer I saw it. You know what? I might have blended 2 things together in my head because I'm skipping around right now. There ain't no dungeon crawly shit going on here. Listen, a lot of games have been announced in the last 18 hours.
I'm still freaking out about Jedi Survivor, Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Like, it's been a long weekend.
I don't even know. I don't even know what the hell that is.
That was the Jedi Fallen Order sequel got announced this weekend.
What?
It's like,
yeah, Liz, because E3 canceled kind of last minute, right? Like, they kind of announced they were done 2 months ago. I'm sure all these companies had these presentations lined up and ready to go, and then once E3 bailed, they were just like, what do we do?
Yeah, and then Jeff Keighley's raking them all in.
For Summer Games Fest. Let me tell you, man, dude, he's like, you ever see that meme of Scrooge McDuck diving and swimming in the money? That's how I just imagine Jeff Keighley right now, just doing his best Scrooge Duck impression, just diving into the pools of money.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm glad we're getting something. Like, I do like these showcases. I know it's hit and miss for a lot of people, but like, it is
I
fun
like
to
these
see.
show. Go ahead.
Oh, it is fun to see like games we're getting for like the year and stuff. I like, for me, it's fun, but sometimes people have ridiculously high expectations on what these showcases need to be, and
Well,
I'm glad some of them are hitting though this so far. For
yeah, and
sure.
I'll say this:
Expectations.
I much prefer showcases like this to like game awards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It seems so much more organic when it's like a showcase. It's like, hey, we're just gonna celebrate the announcements themselves because that's what people are here for, as opposed to, hey, in between these announcements you're all just waiting for, we're gonna tell you what a bunch of people on the internet voted for, and it's like, cool. Is my favorite game getting announced or not? Because that's why I'm here. So I don't know. I just prefer these showcases. You know.
When it comes to the Game Awards, I can't tell you who won like Game of the Year 2 years ago, but I can tell you, Joker from Persona got his Smash reveal there.
Bro, how much did you
Like,
freak out? How much did you freak out when you saw that?
Dude, I was so excited.
Dude, he was the first. When I saw that was the first, I was like, this game's gonna go crazy with its roster if Joker is the first DLC. Not even DLC, just guest character they announced, I guess. No, it was DLC. It was DLC. Sorry.
Yeah. And it was like such a big character to start with, and then they ended with Sora, which was so strong. What a strong ending for this.
It had to end with Sora. It had to end
to.
with Sora.
I didn't know he was the most requested character until he got revealed, but
I believe it. You know.
I do too.
I love Smash because it's a celebration of gaming and it's a gathering of the icons. You know, and to me, I think the reason why Sora was so requested is because it just feels like he belongs. You know, he belongs alongside Mario. He belongs alongside Link and Zelda. He belongs alongside Street Fighter and just like all these different icons. You know, he belongs alongside Cloud and Sephiroth, you know?
These are all characters that have touched our hearts incredibly, you know? And I mean, if anyone's going to touch your heart, it's Sora from Kingdom Hearts, you know? Like, for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of people. And it was, I mean, and now you see, like, Tree just becoming a #1 Sora Smash player in the world. Unofficially, but he's
tries.
#1.
He's #1 in our hearts, and for a Sora main, that's what matters most, isn't it?
Exactly.
SMH says, "Hi, I'm good. I'm practicing to focus on level design first before going into the big picture." Yeah, I guess, you know, like anything else, you got to get your foot in the door. You know, better to start small than to start too big. But yeah, dude, it's an exciting time for games. You know, Game Freak is on a bit of a winning streak. The new Pokemon Snap was cool. The Sword and Shield DLC was great.
Yeah.
Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is a bit of a hiccup. But Legends was awesome. I think Gen 9 is going to follow suit. I think Gen 9 is going to come through. I really feel positive about it after everything we've seen.
I think someone else made Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl too, right? I don't think it was Game Freak.
It wasn't Game Freak.
Yeah.
I really wish, man. You know, we see a lot of these games like Octopath Traveler or these remasters of like Live a Live, where they're taking pixel art and they're making it the most beautiful thing you've ever freaking seen in your life. Can you imagine if Pokemon, when they do like a Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl remake, if they just stuck to pixel art and bringing us like 1080p or 4K pixel art at 60 frames per second? Like, you've seen Square Enix make it look good. You know, it can be done.
I wouldn't mind pixel remasters of the original Pokemon games. Honestly, I think that would be...
I mean, is that not what Fire Red, Leaf Green, and Heart Gold, Soul Silver were?
Yeah.
And they still look good. Like, Soul Silver still looks good. Yeah. Those sprites still look good. Which reminds me, there was another big critique I had about this trailer that made me very upset. When Lechonk used Tackle and all he did was...
Oh, yeah.
I'm mad because Legends fixed this when your Pokemon used tackle, they ran up to the Pokemon and tackled them. And now we've gone back to... And I'm just like, no. Your battle animations were getting so cool in Legends.
And now, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's never bothered me entirely in Pokemon, but I get why it bothers people. I get why it does. Like,
because it looks so cool when they actually tackle them. That's the thing.
Yeah. No, it does. It does. And like, I can personally, I can take it or leave it, but I understand why people want it. And like, like Pokemon, they'll listen if it affects their money.
Yeah.
That's really how it works,
And when Sword and Shield sells 30 million copies, you can bet your ass Gen 9 is going to have a lot of Sword and Shield influence.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's a lot of people who had a lot of problems with Sword and Shield before it came out and then still bought it. And so like you kind of like, because you voted,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's where your power lies. Your power does not lie in bitching on Twitter. Your power lies in what you buy and what you don't buy.
Exactly, and that's how it will work for that's again why I bought Neo the World Ends With You. I haven't played it, like I said, but like I want more of those games, and like I still bought a new copy of it, so it's like I'm at least helping the game,
I know you're exactly. Yeah. I know, because again, we've got a developer in the chat right now. They worked really hard on this game. People put their life, sweat, blood, and tears into this. They deserve to reap the fruits or reap those benefits.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got a couple more in the chat saying, the dude in Silver 64 saying, yes, Soul Silver is so good. It's my favorite Pokemon through and through. And Andy Brew has joined us here in the chat. Andy, what is going on, dude? Let me get your quick shout out. Trousers, the thing with me, and, don't get me wrong, I had my problems with Sword and Shield. I've had my problems with every single Pokemon game. But the thing is, I don't go to Pokemon for the next level experience. I just don't. I don't go into Pokemon expecting next level gameplay or next level story or next level graphics, I'm there for, hate to say it, a comfortable, manageable experience. Yeah. If I want the challenge, I'll do the Nuzlocke. But as far as Pokemon goes, I'm there for that comfortable, manageable experience that has a wide appeal so that I could share it with friends like you, Trousers. Like, that's why I play Pokemon,
Yeah, Pokemon's always been about connecting. And since day one, trading cards, you have to interact with other people to trade. Pokemon Pokemon Red and Blue, they had different Pokemon. You have to literally trade with someone else.
Yep.
To get every Pokemon, which was the goal when it launched. Like, Pokemon has always been about connecting everyone. And I think they still do that very well.
I mean, you even see it in the summer of Pokemon Go, right? You saw the potential of what that series could do when it comes to bringing people together.
Yeah, actually, Pokemon Go too entirely. Like when that game launched, I was out with my friends every day, just running around town.
Everyone was.
It's Pokemon's the great connector.
Yeah. Yeah, and Andy says reconnect Pokemon Scarlet Violet.
Let's go.
Oh God. But yeah, dude, look, I'm with you. Hold on. Since we're speaking about Pokemon bringing people together, allow me to bring something up. I got two things I'd like to show off.
Okay. Yeah, man, Pokemon, dude. Again, Pokemon's just
there you are.
This incredible series,
right,
guys. Like, time. If you haven't played them yet.
All right, first things first. I wish he was in the chat for this moment because this genuinely moved me. But around Christmas time, my good old buddy Lanza Masters sent me this card.
Yo,
Lanza Masters himself, because he knows Mew is my favorite Pokemon too, And so he sent me this, and I love this little almost like Fibonacci looking sequence tail with the spark in the center. Just, I keep it on my desk, man. I absolutely love it. And you know what I kept all these years? This bad motherfucker. You know, you wonder why there's an eye in the lodge. It's always been there. It's always been there. But anyway,
It has been decided.
I'll never forget going to see the Pokemon movie with my two buddies, James and Steven, and we got this card, and I remember just staring at this freaking thing, man, and just being like, I want to keep this forever, you know? Yeah. And it's like, look, I'm in touch with a lot of my friends from my childhood, but I don't talk to James and Steven anymore. But when I see this card, I think happy thoughts about them and hope that they're doing well. You know, Pokemon has this way, like you said, of connecting people, and, you know, just, that's what it's always been about. You know, whether it be when you're a kid, adolescent, now, like, did you see the movie Detective Pikachu?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Dude, that's a movie I'm watching with my kid, like, through and through, because it was literally like a movie about, like, passing on Pokemon to the next generation. You know, the Pokemon is something that you share. It's something that you pass down. It's something. That's why I think I actually think Detective Pikachu is the best video game movie of all time.
Honestly, it would be hard to disagree with that, and I don't think I could. Yeah.
I as someone who likes like the first Tomb Raider movie, I like that old Street Fighter movie. What is that? I can't think of any other video game movie I really like, but like you get the point. There's a couple of them. But Detective Pikachu is really so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another game I actually want to play. Like the
actual game, like Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan Reynolds, I don't know if it will be better than hearing Ryan Reynolds talk, but I would love to play that game eventually.
I would too.
And, yeah.
I would too. We are running up on an hour and a half, Trousers.
Okay.
We are right. The time really flies on us.
Honestly, it was incredible though.
Dude, I've had an absolute blast chatting with you. I don't want to wrap up just yet. I do want to let you have some like closing thoughts on Pokemon, closing thoughts on like the state of play and everything. Just overall closing thoughts on everything that's happened the last 24 hours. And if the chat has any other questions for us, now would be a good time to ask. But, you know, in the meantime, Trousers, take it away.
I think it just goes to show how exciting next year in gaming it's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
But well, I guess even starting November with Pokemon coming out. But there's so much excitement and so much more to be revealed. Mm-hmm. Like next week, we're getting Summer Game Fest.
Oh boy!
And then the week after, we're getting the Xbox Showcase. And there's a lot. There's a lot going on, but it's really cool. And just to circle back to the podcast here, but it's really cool getting a chance to connect with other gamers and talking about this amazing hobby that we all have.
Oh yeah.
You know, we all have different opinions on things. Like, not everyone loves Pokemon, not everyone loves Kingdom Hearts. They're fools, but like, I get it. You know, like, and it's just, it's very nice to. I think showcases like this really connect us again and like let us have fun and discuss our hobby. It's great. So yeah.
Hell yeah, dude! It's been a real trip. It's again, I find the humor in you and I were supposed to do this at like the end of the month.
Yeah, we still can if you want.
We still can. It's true. I mean, I think it's still on my calendar actually.
I'm down.
But I remember we were actually like in the middle of scheduling it, and then all this Pokemon stuff dropped, and I was like, dude, can you do tomorrow? Like, I was like, could you actually do this like tomorrow? And you were like, dude, I'm down. And I was like, beautiful.
It worked out so perfectly. I took the day off for the PlayStation Showcase so I could cover it.
Nice,
so it
dude, nice.
Out perfectly that I already had the day off, and it was just yeah.
Amazing. All right, we are gonna wrap it up there. Trousers, where can the people find you, and what can they expect to see when they follow along?
yeah, guys, you can follow me at twitch.tv/illfittingtrousers. I do variety streams there. We're playing a bunch of different video games, or you can find me on YouTube. And I make a bunch of videos, just talking about different gaming stuff. And sometimes I'm trying to do skits because I was a drama kid in high school, and I really want to get back into that. But I think I've only done like one skit so far. So anyway, guys, yeah, that's where you can find me. Oh, and I have I have my own podcast, which I forgot to plug. Sorry.
Well, I got that link in the description, bro. I got you covered.
I have a podcast called The Weekly Rundown. Hopefully we'll get Landy on there soon too, because I'd love to talk about it. But
Oh, absolutely, dude.
we just take a very loose topic in gaming and kind of just run with it in a roundtable discussion. It's a lot of fun.
Well, I saw like your animals in gaming episode.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, like you guys really like you went in a lot of different directions with that one.
Yeah, and I think it just shows though, like when you open it into a roundtable discussion, there's so many variety of things that you never even considered, and I that's what I really like about that podcast. Just with my host Brendan Howard, he's been my friend forever.
Mm.
But we don't play any similar games, and I think it's very like he's making me play Halo for the first time. I've never played Halo.
Oh, wow.
And never really had an interest in it too much, but now that I'm playing it, it's like, oh wow, I can't believe I've never played this series before.
So there you go. I mean, listen, dude, we talked about it a little earlier in the episode, man. Like, I've tuned into you a lot when I'm working late nights, and you have a very cozy vibe in your stream. You're very wholesome. A lot of fun to watch. Again, I'll never forget watching you run through Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Dude, I had a great time. Thanks so much for agreeing to come on. This was really nice, dude.
Dude, thank you. And like, you're my favorite Saturday morning cartoon. Watching you with that Nuzlocke lately.
Oh, the Pokemon Nuzlocke Saturday morning Pokemon. Yeah, dude.
Great. I love it. It's such a good run, and I still won't forget when you started panicking when your rival.
Oh god!
I had to make that into a video.
Dude, I thought I was done. I was like, Nuzlocke over. We were having such a good time. And then he just dipped. And I was like, no way. I was like, they knew they were going to strike fear into the hearts of the players by making him burst out of the freaking room like that. Yeah. Unreal. But listen, everybody, we are going to wrap it up there. If you're interested in following Trousers, all his links are in the description. Dude, you're a great dude. I look forward to talking with you again. And if you're hanging out with us on Twitch, please stick around. We're actually going to raid Lands of Masters. He's playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. Let's keep it on brand. What do you say, folks? On YouTube, they haven't enabled raids for me yet, but we're going to get there. But thanks so much for tuning in again, everybody. Much love to all of you and the sages of the lodge. Trousers, thank you again, and we will be on our way.